Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bulldog Report. Ike Bush here with Jared Popek. We're going to get started in a little bit, a minute and a half to go until we really get picked up. But just going to talk a little bit about tonight and this, the importance of tonight and games like these. It's a mental health awareness game here in the Brainy Borough, the fans wearing green. Jared, what does this mean for the town itself?
This is truly huge for the high school. I think that mental health is truly something that we need to focus on. I think it's very misunderstood, and we need to sort of integrate it into our society of taking care of those who need mental health.
Well, action going to pick up in just about a minute. We'll be back. Ike Bush and Jared Popek on the call.
Good evening. On behalf of our athletic director, Mr. John Cathcart, and our principal, Mr. Edward Borowski, we would like to welcome you to Metuchen High School, where sportsmanship is an expectation. So please, let the players play, let the coaches coach, let the officials officiate, and let the spectators be positive. Tonight, the Bulldogs will be hosting the Hawks from J.P. Stevens High School in Edison. Today's green out is dedicated to mental health awareness. Now a word from the president of Bring a Change of Mind, Leah.
Really quickly, hi everybody. I'm a senior here at the our school's chapter of Brain Change Mind, a mental health, a national mental health awareness club. Today's green out, we really just want to spread mental health awareness, and I just want to say, please advocate for your loved ones. We need to stop this mental health crisis before it gets worse. Also, join us during halftime for a knockout game to knock out the stigma. Yeah, thank you, and go boys.
Today's contest is being conducted according to the rules of the New Jersey State High School Athletic Association. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can help promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated, could subject the violator to ejection, and may result in penalties being assessed against your team. Each one is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this competition at a high level of good sportsmanship.
And now, before we get to the starting lineups, would you please stand for the playing of our national anthem?
It's Metuchen basketball from the Brainy Borough. We're here for game number 14 for Metuchen. Hey everybody, I'm Mike Bush alongside Jared Popek, ready to bring you all the action from today as Metuchen faces off JP Stevens. Very even matchup in this one. Should be a good one, Jared.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a really heated matchup. Metuchen versus JP, 6-7 versus 5-8, both in the GMC, different divisions. This one should be a good one.
Very excited to see what happens today. Ben Santos out there to take the tip. We're ready to go, or just about, as music is still playing in the gym, but they get it all figured out, and we are set to go. Metuchen looking to go back to 500. They're now 6-7. They lost their last one, dropped down under 500 the first time this season. Tip won by JP Stevens, and we are underway from the gym. Sarkar on it. He's their point guard. Move out to Sarkar. He looks at an option. Displays his chance there. Fire from three. It's off the rim. No good. First shot. No good for Pongenti. And Metuchen's on the ball for the first time today.
And Ben Santos has truly been a key part to this offense, averaging about 10.5 points per game, 137 on the year. He's truly been a vital part to the success of this offense.
And even yesterday, last game, the whole team really struggled as a unit, but Ben Santos still, popped out as one of the better players on the team. 16 points, 5 rebounds in the game against South River, which is very good for Ben, especially because the team really struggled in that game. So there's Ben Santos on the ball. He finds Galligan, but he takes his own option and takes it to the net for a layup, and the first points of the day are in favor of the Bulldogs. Nice job there by Ben. You think we're going to see a lot of that tonight?
I think we are, and he's truly a force on the offensive glass as well as the defensive glass, leading the team in rebounds, and this one should be led by Ben.
Pongenti kicks outside now. Incoming number 12. That's their big man. Wow, what a play there by Elijah Peters. And Peters definitely someone to highlight for JP Stevens. We'll talk a little bit about him more. For now, though, a travel by the junior captain, Cody Cardillo, and it's headed the other way. JP Stevens on the ball now. So, okay, let's break into Elijah Peters. He's an interesting player for many reasons, and I mean many reasons. He leads the team in points, rebounds, blocks, and steals. 289 points on the team this year so far, averaging 22.2 per game, by far the most of any player out there on the court right now. Keep an eye out for him, number 12. He's their main guy. You see him guarded by Ben Santos underneath, and not guarded by anyone now. You see him now. Cody picks him up on the ball, moving inside, kick outside. And Metuchen running a very nice zone defense right now. It seems to be working. A three-point shot. It's off the back part of the rim. Rebounded, or I thought it would be, by Cone. A reverse layup is good. That's Thewarker, his first points of the day, and it's 4-2 Eagles.
Defense is truly going to be the key to this game. I think that the question today here is, can you stop Elijah Peters? And if you can you shut down the rest of them? Because defense is going to lead you for this
That's
game.
a great point. I mean, yeah, sure, you could focus on shutting down Peters, right? But then there's 4 other guys out there, and they're all good players. Not easy to kind of control everybody at the same time. Not easy at all. So Metuchen, a must-win for them in front of the home fans. You might be wondering why everyone's wearing green. As I explained earlier, it's Mental Health Awareness Day here at the Metuchen High School gym. Danny Galligan, a bounce pass over to Malamug. A lot better and more methodical offense for Metuchen after a tough loss against South River. Might have been a foul. Oh, no, it was. It looked like an offensive foul on Ben Santos. It's going to be headed the other way. 5:25 to go in the first quarter. It's the Bulldog Report. Action covered right now, 4-2. You're watching the Bulldog Report. Jared, this JP Stevens team is very good. Do you think they match up well against the Bulldogs or not so well?
I think they do. I think that their record doesn't show who they truly are, 2-7 in the GMC Red. I think that they've played a lot of tough schools.
Right.
And they are very even matched in terms of size, in terms of power, and in terms of shooting.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I mean, the Red Division a lot tougher than the Blue Division, so they play tougher competition. The record, as you said, does not necessarily reflect how good they are, but I think Metuchen can try to, put a dagger in them. As I mentioned last game, they play well against good teams, and I know that wasn't really shown in their game against South River, but that, South River is just their own beast. So Metuchen playing nice defense right now, 4:41. This has been almost a minute drive without a shot in honor of J.P. Stevens. They're on the ball still. Haven't really cracked into inside of the perimeter since going on this offensive attack. Peters kicks outside, three-point shot, no good. Try by Hicks, no good. Underneath, Malamug fought it. He got the ball himself. Pass to Cardillo, and Metuchen's on the ball. That was a minute and 5 seconds. They had the ball, only one shot and no points as a result. Cone, who was a little cold last game, misses his first chance of the day. Moving inside, here come the Hawks. Chance from the corner, and Hicks on it. He'll control the pace from the top of the logo. Sarkar, a little floater, grabbed down, that's Peters, he moves inside, yes he did, 6-2, nice play there by Peters to get the points. Santos takes it across the timeline, might have been fouled, they don't call it. Santos, little ball that's deflected by the defender, on top of it was Sarkar, he goes down, and a foul against Metuchen will leave the ball in Green's hands.
A good student section here tonight, too, for mental health game. It's good to see, to break the stigma, and to get some free Rutgers tickets, Ike.
Yeah, actually, there's a little bit of a event going on here in the Bulldog Report. We're organizing something pretty awesome. So if you scan the QR code, which is in the MHS gym right now, up on the TVs, and if you scan it, and fill out the form, which is all about, MHS boys and girls basketball history and program history and all of that. You can answer all the questions right. You have a chance to earn free Rutgers tickets to the game on February 1st against Minnesota. So you have to be, in order to win, you have to be here at the game wearing green. So if you're watching, you're sitting at home, you're a little bored, come down, enter the raffle at halftime, and hope to see you at the Rutgers game, I guess. Pongenti outside, Sarkar now on it, top of the logo. There's a wide open man, Hicks. He can't really shoot. That's why they're kind of leaving him open on the outside. But look who can. They're guarding double on Peters. A three-pointer, no good. He pulled it. That was Pongenti. Overshot it, and it's headed the other way for the Bulldogs. In comes Malama, good at the contested shots. That time he hit it off the side of the backboard. The glass denied him. Inside, underhand layup, finger roll, and it goes his way. It's 8-2. So Metuchen scored the game's first points, but since then they've allowed 8 consecutive points. What's changed?
I think that the defense has actually played well, and the score sheet doesn't actually recognize that. They've played a great 2-3 zone so far, as we get an inbound here from Max Cone.
Cone displaying his options. The team they're opposing right now, J.P. Stevens might have the height advantage in this, as Metuchen typically doesn't have this season. But Metuchen might be the quicker team, as you see Cone with a quick layup reverse. He'll get his first points in 2 games. Max Cone makes it 8-4. And it's going the other way. They traveled. Metuchen's basketball, that's huge. And you know, the media door just opened for half a second, and I heard an eruption from the fans, which are, I want to say, 100 feet away from us right now. So pretty awesome that the fans are really, really supporting their team right now here on Friday night.
And even if Metuchen is outmatched in this game, the student section actually does have a huge difference
That's
on
absolutely
this game.
right, yeah.
And it's good that Metuchen is out here supporting for mental health and for this team. And it looks like Metuchen has some momentum here now.
Yeah. So there you got Max Cone, who took the jumper. It fell short. In comes Galeota, and Galeota played an excellent game last game. I thought he was one of the best players Metuchen had, along with Santos and even Gudrathi later on in the game. But keep an eye on Galeota. He's really the 6th man of the year for Metuchen. Very impressive stuff last year and this year off the bench. In comes Santos. He puts it up, it hits off the back part of the rim and falls out, and it's going the other way. Now J.P. Stevens with it, dish to the corner, 3-pointer, you best believe he'll take it, and it falls in, a nice trickle, and Metuchen now trails by 6. Actually, make that 7, it's a scoreboard error, it should be 11-4 after the 3. Maybe it was a 2 though, I didn't see. Was that a deep 2? I don't know, but we'll step aside for just a second. Bulldog Report, Metuchen trailing by 6.
Danger zone.
Back in here, Ike Bush and Jared Popek. Jared, your first game on the call. How you liking it so far?
It's pretty fun so far,
Yeah.
I'd say. It's tough to, elaborate on what you're trying to say, but it's a good experience to get on the call here.
It's a good time. Jared's usually behind the cameras working camera work or editing or graphics and all that. He's been a great help since joining the club. Now, Henry Sia wasn't able to join us today for the game, so I said, hey, Jared, why not just join up today and see what you can do? And he's been great so far. We got a lot of game to be played, though, as Metuchen looking for a comeback. You see Galligan, we'll test his range today, see what he could do after, again, a quiet game against South River. Turnover, here comes J.P. Stevens, a shot, it trickles in. Might have been a little bit of luck off the rim, and it's going in for their 11th and 12th points of the night.
And speaking of turnovers, I want to see Max Cohn emerge today. 37 steals on the year, leading the team. And the steals are going to be very important in this game as the defense has been pretty good so far.
Cardillo mossed a man off the board. 3-point from Cohn. They needed it, but he couldn't hit it. And it's headed back the other way. J.P. Stevens on a fast break. They've got more men than Metuchen does. Wide open. 3-pointer. No. Not even close. That was an air ball. And you best believe the green student section will let him hear it right now. Ball. Peters tried to save it. Nice job. He did save it. Elijah Peters going to be the big highlight in this one, as he has already. Ball trickling down. Galeota contesting him. Galligan contesting the man charging in, who puts it up and goes in. That was Pangetti with his 3rd and 4th points of the day. And Pangetti looks good, too. Really a combination of a lot of strong players on this team, which makes up a very good J.P. Stevens roster. Moving in, chance equal, chance, and he's got it. Peters will always win the one-on-ones. He does there. Final seconds of the first quarter, 10 seconds to go. Metuchen with the ball, maybe chance to put on some points. They've only scored 4 this quarter. Bounce pass over to Santis. Cohn puts it up, and he can't make it fall. It hasn't been a good quarter for Metuchen's offense. How do they change things in the second quarter, Jared?
I think that they turn their offense on, and that needs to be led by Max Cohn, Marcus Malamug, and I want to see Ben Santos start to get involved. He's been very good today. He's been very good last game, and I would love to see more contribution from Max Cohn, from Marcus Malamug, and maybe some of the lowlights here, and see what this offense can do.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of Metuchen's team has been the bench in this season, which has been one of the main reasons they've been able to win so many games. I know when I say that, I know they have a losing record, but, in previous seasons, their team has not been so good. And so, over the years, I think that, Metuchen's program is a very strong one, but their depth explains a lot. I think not every year do they have great depth. They might have like a star player like last year with Dom, or the year before with Luke Schleck and, Piavoso and all that, Artie Flaherty in the years before that. But, Metuchen's team, as I've said of many of these games, does not have an ace, right? And we know that they don't necessarily have an ace. We've talked a lot about a lot of their players. They all have a lot of strong players, no one particularly excellent, and no king of the team, which makes them in many ways better because they could fire from all cylinders. As you see, this proves my point. There's 4 new players out there. Santos stays, but 4 bench players come out there. Danny Kuhn is in, Matt Smith is in, JT Woods and Thomas Cassani, the lineup now for the Bulldogs to start the second quarter.
And I think depth is going to be really key in this game. J.P. Stevens is going to run the floor on Metuchen, and they're not going to be able to get tired here. Depth is going to be very important, as J.P. Stevens is not known to sub very much.
Yeah.
So we should see if they get fatigued and Metuchen puts their bench in. Let's see what they can do.
Kuhn with it at the foul line, but he's guarded well. Matt Smith, who could shoot, had a great JV game just before this. He's the freshman, and that's a foul on Santos. That's a crucial blow. You have to capitalize on offensive opportunities if you're Metuchen playing against such a good offense who you kind of have to expect is going to put up points, or every other drive, or maybe every single drive. So if you're Metuchen, try to capitalize off your opportunities in order to kind of crawl back into this one. You're already down by 12. You have to make sure you're putting points on the board. Trailing by 12, 7:26 to go here in the second quarter. It's the Bulldog Report, 16-4, make it 18-4 after yet another basket for J.P. Stevens. This game could get out of hand if Metuchen doesn't bounce back quickly.
That's for sure. And we saw it happen versus South River, where they got down to a 17-2 deficit in the second quarter. I want to see them start to produce here on offense, as they've had some woes in recent games.
They have to understand what their strengths are throughout this game and adjust. And if they're shooting the three ball well, they have to shoot more threes. They have to do more adjusting and more audibling as the game goes on, because this is a team that, again, you can't crack down on necessarily with one technique. You have to use all sorts of strategies and definitely put your strongest ones first. So Cassani sent to the line for 2 shots. He was fouled on the way to the hoop last time. The first one's good. And Cassani knocks a pair through. Good stuff from Thomas Cassani. He scores his first points of the night. Cuts the lead down to 12. 3-point chance. Does it go? Overshot it off the rim. Down it goes. Rebounded. Metuchen on it. It's Woods, who's been an excellent bench piece this year, but it might have been a foul against JT Woods. It wasn't. You know what it was? It was a jump ball, and it's going the way of J.P. Stevens. Excuse me. Jump ball, and it's going the way of Metuchen. Sorry. Oh, sorry. We just doled it out accidentally. That was a miscue from our tech crew. Wake up, tech crew. Just kidding, that was me. Here's Cassani. They're doubling him. And he loses the ball quickly. Chance. Oh, he almost dunked. That was Peters who put it on, but the points won't add, as there was a foul, I think, on Cassani before the fast break. And honestly, I think this bench crew has looked better than the starters here in this one.
I think so, and that's going to be very important as the game progresses. See what the starters can do to start producing, and see what the bench can do to back them up.
Right, and it's weird because, last game, the bench was outperforming the starters as well, but we figured it's because they're playing against the bench of South River. Now they're playing against the starters. It's the whole starting roster for J.P. Stevens, so maybe they're just a little fatigued, or I don't know, maybe it's a little bit of both, but the bench looks a heck of a lot better right now than the starters do. I'm sure things will start to level out later on. I'm liking what I'm seeing with this young talent too. Ball goes out. Matt Smith threw it out. It was yanked off of a defender. And Metuchen is going to have the ball. Smith will inbound. He looks at his 4 good options. Woods is their big man. Watch for him. He might be used a lot more here on this drive. Oh, a chance for Cassani. And like I said, you have to capitalize on your chances. That one definitely should have gone in. 3-point chance. Yes, he did. Have to make your shots when you can. Anthony Hicks hits the 3 ball from range. It's 21-6. J.P. Stevens expanding their lead.
And Elijah Peters is truly the ace of this offense, but Anthony Hicks doesn't get enough credit. He's second in points and second behind almost everything else that Peters leads,
right.
And he's been a vital part to the production of Elijah Peters, leading the team in assists, mostly to Elijah Peters.
Yeah, it's awesome what this duo has done. They look really good in this one too. I mean, this has been one-sided to start the game off. They're trailing by 15. That is Metuchen, but if Metuchen could try to bounce back, get a surge of momentum, that would be very nice to see. I'm not sure if it will be the bench or some of the starters who, by the way, just checked in. Cohn and Malamug are back out there. They kept Woods. They kept Galligan's still in there because he was with the bench crew last time. Cohn and Kuhn have to get it across the half line. They finally do. Oh, out goes Hicks. A pass to Kuhn. He hasn't shot yet today, and it's a travel by Danny Kuhn. Sloppy basketball by the men in white.
We've seen this happen, especially in the South River game, where once they get pressed in their half, they have real trouble getting it up the court.
Yeah, they're having trouble right now. Press defense that's a great point. The press defense has really rattled Metuchen, and more so I think the starters than even the bench guys. The bench guys maybe it's because instinct, the starters might be more experienced, and they just kind of trying to outplay the defenders, which is always not the right thing to do. If you're an offense, never try to outplay the defense. The defense tries to outplay you, and that's how they'll shut you down. Hicks dishes, although he's been hot from 3. A chance, rebounded by J.P. Stevens. It's Peters who kicks to Hicks, and Hicks can't get it. Oh, toilet bowled around, but it didn't go in. Still a 15-point deficit. Dutch is going to try to crawl back into this one, but Danny Kuhn has to be better with the ball in his hands. There, a nice pass by Kuhn. Out comes Cody Cardillo. Kuhn, though, remember, he's being guarded by Peters, and Peters with a great steal. Here he comes, fast break, and he lays it off the glass. He's fouled in the process. That's a foul on Jason Woods. 2 shots to the line for Peters.
And the key to this game, especially when you're having some offensive woes, is going to be simplicity. You're going to not have to do anything fancy. You're just going to have to lay it in, lay it easy. And once you get your simple game out, then you can start getting creative. But once you get your simple game down and start to build momentum, that's when you can really expand your offense.
100%. And there's Elijah Peters, by the way. That was his 37th steal of the season, which is just remarkable. Max Kona's 37 steals this year heading into this game, and that's great. We were highlighting in a few of the games how good Max Cohn's defense has been for Metuchen this year. So it's interesting that that I didn't even realize that the other side of the ball for Peters has been just as strong as the offensive side. Here's Galligan on it. He's guarded by Peters. They're running a zone defense as well. Kuhn from the corner fires. It's not good. Just a rebound by Cardillo. Cohn's 0 for 2 from range today. He'll lose the ball. Nice defense again. The defense continues to stiffen, and this defense might be just as good as South River's. South River only allowed a few points to Metuchen in the first half last game. 3-pointer up. Unlike a few of the other shots, this one an unlucky bounce for Stevens, and it'll go Metuchen's way.
That's exactly what you need to start building momentum here.
Yeah, exactly. Now they have to score here on the drive. Like I've been saying, you have to capitalize your opportunities here. Few of the starters checked out. Out comes Thawarker. He has 2 points already. And the ball trickles, last touched by Cody Cardillo. Green ball. Second quarter action, it's the Bulldog Report. Ike Bush and Jared Popek on the call for the second quarter right now. It's a 23-6 score game here in the mental health awareness game from the Brainy Burrow. 3-point chance. He took it himself inside. A 3-point now, and it's Peters who can't get it to go. Rebounded by Metuchen, falling out of bounds, but they're going to say it was a foul first against Stevens, and it's going to be Metuchen ball. This is a bigger school Metuchen's playing against, and it's a common theme a little bit that Metuchen's playing against, bigger schools. The GMC consists of schools that are at least similar in size to them. South River, one of the exceptions, but in terms of size, the other schools seem to be a little bit bigger, and that might give them an advantage in terms of the students. Chance inside. The layup is good. Might have been a charging foul. It was, and the fan section is hyped about that one. Metuchen's basketball. So, Jared, we've seen a lot from Metuchen offensively and defensively. But I want to focus on their defense. How do they repair to try to, help their offense make up the ground of them trailing by 15 right now?
I think they've tried to be too tactical here, getting on their man and playing 2-3 zone, which frankly hasn't worked so far. It worked in the first couple minutes when they stayed close, but now that they've built almost a 15-point lead, it's tough to really maintain your offense here, as Cody Cardillo will go to the line for 2. And you really need to lock down on defense with maybe a different zone, maybe change it up at half. But let's see what Coach Cardillo wants to do here as this one falls for Cody Cardillo.
Cardillo is sent to the line. He'll shoot 2. Cardillo has been fouled an awful lot this year. See if he can make his shots here with 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Metuchen has to bounce back here in the remaining stages of this one. Sent to the line. He'll shoot a shot. Oh, a jump early by not South River, sorry, by J.P. Stevens, but the shot goes in anyway. And it's going the other way for Green. 13-point game.
It looks like Metuchen is starting to develop a trap here, trying to catch them in their own half.
I like it. I like what they're doing right now. And this is the starters who struggled earlier on in the game in the early first quarter, but they look really good right now. Their defense especially. Little momentum you could see picking up with a nice student section to back them up.
And if they're developing a trap on you, develop a trap right back on them and see how they react.
And it worked, and it forced Cardillo to take a foolish shot, which didn't fall in. And it's going to be basketball for Green. Bounce pass corner. Oh, he got Cardillo and his ankles on the floor. But it's staying here as they didn't get the steal. But how about another steal? His 38th of the year. Who but Max Cohn, who's charging in. And he got it. He's fouled and he lays in 2 with 3-point play chance for Max Cohn. He's sent to the line.
And that's the momentum that this team needs. Student section is hyped about this one and a steal leading the team.
Oh man, but that's the reality. Sometimes the refs just don't give you the call, and it was looking like a charging foul. I actually initially thought that was the call against Metuchen, but the way the fans reacted and the way Max reacted, I thought maybe it just counted, but it didn't count. So that would have been an awesome momentum shifter for Metuchen, but it doesn't end up working out. Now it's J.P. Stevens on the ball, 3-point chance, nice bounce pass inside. Malamud contesting him, wide open chance. In comes Peters. He cooks inside now to Malou. Malou's going to wrestle for the ball. It's going to be a jump ball. And it's Metuchen's it's Stevens' basketball. 1:42 to go here in the first half. We're going to have a lot of first half activities here in the Metuchen High School gym. So if you're bored at home, come in here and see what's going on at halftime. It's only a 10-minute break, though, so you got to come quickly. They'll be playing Knockout here in the gym in honor of mental health awareness. So a lot of fun activities here at halftime with a big turnout for Metuchen. It has to be the highest student section they've had this year, I think. Even with the whiteout, it was pretty nice student section, but this one kind of mops it. I wasn't here for the Honor Connor game, the yellow out, or the gold out, or whatever they called it, but I heard that was a pretty nice show up too.
It certainly was, but this is probably the best student section that Metuchen's gotten all year, and in the past, I'd say minute and a half, JP without a point. So Metuchen trying to build some momentum and shape up their defense at the end of this half. We'll see how Coach Cardillo makes his adjustments in the second half, see what he does with his players. As of now, it's going to be Metuchen ball.
Yeah, Metuchen's ball, 1:42 to go. Under 2 minutes. You want to try to make up a lot of ground here. Try to maybe put up, 4 more points. Make it a single-digit game. That would be very nice for Metuchen. A lot more manageable for the second half, and maybe they can pick up some momentum, and hey, maybe they can come back in this one. This one, differently than the South River game, it feels like Metuchen has a chance, so that's definitely motivating. They playing better defense and playing better offense than they did in the other game, and there's Cohn with a jumper from the stripe, and he knocks it through. It's 23-12.
And I don't think the scoreboard has shown it, but I think that Metuchen is starting to hold their own against this offense. I think they're starting to shape up their defense and actually come back in this game.
Moving around, they've got a minute to go. It's a faster-paced offense from Stevens. Off the glass and in. They clap back and put some points right back on the board. And now they have more than double Metuchen's score. But Cohn says, anything you could do, I could do better. And he says, how about 2 more for us? It's 25-14.
And now we are starting to see the Max Cohn that we all know, the captain of this team, and he is bursted with energy here.
Speaking of captain of this team, there's Cody Cardillo to knock the ball out of bounds, but hey, that only so much you could do as it goes out of bounds. That was a really heads-up play there by Cardillo, who's had consistently good defense all year.
He certainly has. And Coach Cardillo now instructing his defense. Let's see what they do here after this play.
Oh, the ball was lost on the inbound. In comes Cone. He moves to Kuhn. Cone to Kuhn. Kuhn misses another shot. There's Cone who got the rebound. He'll take the ball up as the point guard. A three-pointer here would just give him so much momentum, and Kuhn had thought about it, but he didn't pull the trigger. Gonna give it to Cardillo. Cardillo dishes to Galligan. There's a wide open man on the corner. They want to test Danny Kuhn, who can shoot. There's Cardillo. Excuse me, there's Galligan right down the yellow brick road. 1 second. That's it. Metuchen gets within single digits just like I wanted them to. It's a 9-point game after the half. What do you think they should change? And what do you think Coach Cardillo will tell them here at halftime?
I think that they need to start shaping up their defense because their offense has truly shown that they can handle this team and the later going of the half here. And I think that they have all the momentum going into the locker room right now. Let's see how they bring it back at the second half.
I cannot wait to see what the second half brings in terms of action. But for now, we'll step aside. Ike Bush and Jared Popek on the call. You're watching the Bulldog Report. We're underway here for the second half of action. Very excited to see what this one brings. Metuchen with a surge of momentum to cap off the first half, and here we go. Second half, we'll see if they can continue it here with their entire starting roster out there, and the same for the opposing J.P. Stevens. 25-16 is our score. Ike Bush and Jared Popek right next to me, ready to go for the second half. This one sure to be a nice ending. 10 minutes ago, we saw Metuchen really putting together some nice drives, offensively and defensively, on the backs of Santos and Cardillo and Cone. There's a steal by Santos, and here they go. Maybe they're picking it up from the first half.
And as we get that steal, let's see if they can keep that momentum that they left the first half with, as we hear a jumper from Max Cone that doesn't fall.
Cone misses, but his confidence is at an all-time high right now after a nice steal and 2 points, which ended up not counting. But, he's really a player of confidence. If he is hitting his shots, man, there's no one better on the team. But when he's not, he's still a very valuable asset because he spreads the ball around for the team. He's a really, really valuable point guard for Metuchen. Move outside, 3-point for Hicks. He puts it up. He missed it. Off both parts of the rim, putting it up. Now a foul, 2 shots to the line. That was Santos's foul. Oh, no, it's going to go Metuchen's way. It was against... It wasn't a foul. It was a travel against... J.P. Stevens, which sets up a Bulldog inbound, trailing by 9. Cardillo moves across, wide open man is Santos. He moves inside, lays off the glass and in. Metuchen strikes first here in the second half, but they struck first in the first half also. Is this a different? Is there something in the air here in the second half? Maybe.
I think there is. The first quarter of the game was really just to get yourself going, and now Metuchen is really taking over this momentum, and this is just a continuation of that.
Jinx, perhaps, maybe? I don't know. Well, Jared, this would be a nice, your first ever series of the Commentator's Curse. I believe this is episode 15.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's every single time we say something, and as soon as it happens, as soon as we say it, something else contrary to our point happens. Well, there you go. There's a 3-point play. But hey, Metuchen still has momentum, which they haven't in many other circumstances of the Commentator's Curse. As you see, Metuchen on it. Oh boy, this could not be a worse time for that. Metuchen on it. Still, Max Cone with it. He moves around. He's got an open man with Santos. Malamud, contested shot off the glass and in.
And the Commentator's Curse hit me there when J.P. Stevens made a basket, but Metuchen is answering the call every time on the other side of the floor.
Yeah, they're defending you. Malamud's such a great player. He's really good at the contested shots. I really appreciate the way he plays for Metuchen. Even if he's smothered, he'll find a way to put the points on the board. And that's what I really, really like about Marcus Malamud, as Metuchen now just within 8 points. They're really looking good right now.
And this starting front brings a good level of physicality, as where the bench is more tactical and simple with their game.
I was going to say
that. Brings a two-headed snake to this equation, where Metuchen could really come back. As there you go.
There's the board by Malamud, and across the timeline goes Cone. They just need points. They just need more momentum. The ball comes out. Captain Cardillo picks it up. What a pass to Santos. Santos off the glass. He can't get it to go. That would have been awesome. What a pass from Cardillo. And we'll play on there. It was a foul on the defense on Max. Cone's second foul of the day. Hicks inbounds, and it's going Metuchen's way. Took a little too long, I think, to inbound it, and now it's Santos. So Metuchen puts a 3 on the board. How electric would this place be, and how would it affect the team?
It would be super electric. The biggest student attendance we've ever had in this building this year, and as you can see, J.P. Stevens is starting to make some tacky mistakes here as they take too long on the inbound, and it goes Metuchen's way.
There's Cone. They're playing a good press defense here. Will he get across the half in time? They do, and now they're exposing a defense as Cardillo dribbles but loses it there. Now from range is Danny Galligan. He dribbles inside, puts up a floater off the rim. Rebounded by Cardillo. That football player's strength gets him a rebound and a shot, but no points. Now comes Stevens across the middle. It's Peters, who lost it, and it was last touched by him and out of bounds. Metuchen's ball. Wow.
A great steal by Ben Santos there, and kicks off of J.P. Stevens to get the ball back. Truly rewarding there. A good bounce from Metuchen.
What has changed here in the second half? Metuchen, I know it's momentum, and I know they played great to end the first half, but something's been in the air in the second half, or something in the water, and they're just cooking something that, it looks like a better team, frankly. And so what has changed about this team? Is it just that they're playing more confident?
I think they are playing more confident. They went into the lead with some momentum, and they brought it here in the second half and showed that they really can compete with this J.P. Stevens team. This happens a lot in college, where you'll get those 10-point swings, 12-point swings, where you'll truly make a run. And let's see if Metuchen can hold it here and really cut this deficit.
And I know he missed the shot, but Cone just whipped a 3, which was a little short, and I get it, and he's not necessarily even known for his range, but I love that shot from Cone, because if you hit that, it just transforms the gym and your team, your confidence. And Cone, if he wants to shoot it, he'll shoot it, and you saw it there. Ball trickles out, and it's, I think, staying on this side of the gym. It is. Possession arrow pointed left, and Cone will inbound. Watch Santos, he's got the height advantage over there. In the far corner.
And this is where Metuchen can really start to expand their offense. Take advantage of the mismatches and take advantage of those tacky plays that J.P. Stevens is going to make a mistake on. And that's where you can really cut your deficit and make this a game.
I know it's a different Metuchen team, but this is a very different J.P. Stevens team out of the half. The ball last touched, I think, by Cone, and that's the way the call goes. So J.P. Stevens will have the ball with 4 minutes flat to go here in the third quarter. A third quarter that's been highly rewarding for the Metuchen Bulldogs and their fans. They've really liked what they've seen, and I've really liked what I've seen from Metuchen. If you're just joining us, it's the Bulldog Report. Metuchen trailing by 8, but it was once a lot more. They were once trailing by 16, and Metuchen's momentum right now has been incredible. So they're going to try to use this momentum to try to rally back in this one. They'll have the ball with 3:49 to go in the third quarter here in the green-out game from the MHS gym. Here's Malamug. Little play aside to Cone. Cone near the stripe. He'll be contested by Sarkar, who's a very good defender. And you see it there. There's a steal. Cone dives on it, saves the ball. A bounce pass or a roll pass to Cassani. And I think it might have been a backcourt violation. It was kind of very unclear there. Oh, no, it was a foul. Okay, so a foul against Green. Stevens now has to play defense. But, I know Metuchen's defense has looked very good, but their offense has struggled a little bit aside from a few points earlier on in the half. And there you go. That's all you have to do. As Mr. Hogerby says, just throw it off the square and the points will go in. It's a 6-point game. Nice job there on the reverse layup.
And something I've definitely seen change in this half is Metuchen has a lot more fight. Max Cone there diving for the ball, trying to keep your possession. And they're getting rewarded with the points as of now.
Well, points came right back. As Stevens, sure, maybe they've had a little bit of a momentum shift go the other way, but they're very good consistently throughout this game at responding quickly. And I noticed that kind of early on in the game, they're putting up points right after Metuchen does pretty consistently. And that's really something that's contributed to their lead here in the third quarter. Under 3 1/4 minutes to go. If you're just joining us, it's a great game. Score 30 to 22. A quick steal for J.P. Stevens. They're on the offensive side of the ball for a real drive for the first time in a little while. Feels like they've just had fast breaks. 3-point shot. Hicks's shot no good. Rebounded by Galligan, and the possession arrow moving Metuchen's way. Now in comes Malamug, lays it off the rim, no good. Malamug with a scrum. The ball last, I think, touched off of Green, taken for Green, and J.P. Stevens still unfamiliar faces out there. Some of their bench guys playing for them. Out comes Marcus Malamug. In comes Max Cone. Out comes Marcus Malamug and Thomas Cassani. Oh, in comes, wow, this is pathetic. Out comes Danny Galligan and Marcus Malamug. In comes Max Cone and Thomas Cassani.
We're also seeing an appearance from Janu Dreher here.
Yeah. And he was a big part of their game last game, right?
He should add some height here. He definitely was a key part in last game's effort, and we should see this height work to their advantage on the offensive glass.
Height work to JP Stevens' advantage there as Hicks ran through the defense like a running back. Nice job as he put it off the glass. Oh, another sloppy mistake by the Metuchen offense. Kuhn had the right idea, just couldn't execute it quite right as it falls out of bounds. Still a 10-point possession, 10-point game, still a 5-possession game, 4-possession game if Metuchen's able to hit their shots, but they haven't been converting so much offensively in the second half, really more so defensively, and even now, JP Stevens has kind of exposed this Metuchen zone defense. Nope. You guys are cruel. 3-point shot is good. What a shot by Pangetti. He's hit his second 3 of the game and stays consistent for the team. He's been great defensively, probably their best defender, and a great 3-pointer there. Here's Cone. Does he have one of his own? He does! What a shot, and boy did they need that. How could you leave him that open? Max Cone hits the 3-pointer, and at least he found success on something today after failing that Gov quiz. There's a foul against JP Stevens. He'll be sent to the line for 2, trailing up by 10 right now. Kidding, he actually got 100 on that. I just wanted to say that. Guys. There's a picture of us earlier on in the year, early January, when we did the broadcasters game where a bunch of guys from few of the other years, some alumni came back to call some of the games. That was a pretty fun stream. You should go check that out. It was Metuchen Wardlaw Hardridge here in Metuchen. 2 for 2 swap for Metuchen. First shot was missed. It's a 10-point game with 1:25 to go. That's our media club president. There's Ben Solaski. How about a little payback, Ben?
It's okay.
Both shots missed, but a rebound goes the way of the Hawks. It's a scrum down low. I think Cone fouled him, which would be his 3rd foul of the day. Jared, prepare for this one. Chris DeVizio, professional instinct. Oh man, that's cruel. We've got another edition of Chris DeVizio being Frank Sinatra. Minute 13 to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's a 10-point game. Now there's an open man on the corner nearest to us. There's an air ball. Metuchen fans chanted air ball with the cheerleaders. Just kidding, the cheerleaders aren't chanting air ball, but Metuchen with the ball now. Kuhn will inbound.
You gotta let them know that they got an air ball. That's certainly important to the atmosphere of this student section.
Oh yeah,
You gotta let them know when they make a mistake.
Yeah, and you gotta let them know when they can't do that too.
And to start the buses.
Right. Here's Cone. They might not be chanting that in this one as they're losing by 10, but still a nice fight for Metuchen. There's Galeota, rebounded points. What a play by Ben Galeota. Hits the Hogerby square for 2, and it's an 8-point game. 34 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. A 3rd quarter that's gone much of the way of the Bulldogs. They're only outscoring Stevens by 1 in the 3rd quarter, but something about the momentum has led Metuchen to be a serious threat in this one. Here's a 3-pointer, broadcaster curse, part number 2 tonight. 3-pointer banger from the far corner. 14 seconds to go in the 3rd. Maybe Metuchen will have some points of their own. Cone, you could tell he just wants to shoot, man. You could tell. 5 seconds. Galligan dribbles to his left, steps back, bounce pass. He traveled, which will leave Stevens 1.6 seconds with the ball in their own hands and the lead of 11. Shot. No good. He overdid it. And that takes us into a break. Jared, I have to re-ask you this question. What's it like being in the booth and being able to cover some of this action for the first time?
It's very fun. We have a tight game here, even though the score is a little in the direction of JP Stevens.
Yeah.
Metuchen carrying some momentum still from the end of the first half. Let's see if they can really make this a game in the fourth quarter.
Well, we shall see. We'll step aside for now. 11-point game in favor of Stevens. We'll be back. You're watching the Bulldog Report. (38-27) from the MHS gym. Metuchen trailing by 11, but still working to try to come back. Three-pointer short, air ball, no one chanting the other way. Now here comes Cone, a jumper short of the line. He's got it. A 2-point shot, and now it's a 9-point game as Metuchen puts some points on the board for the first time in a little bit. Nice job for the Bulldogs. Cone is heating up. Three-pointer Hicks, no good, just off by a little. And now Metuchen really threatening to cut this lead to just a few. Galligan loses it. Kuhn loses it, excuse me. And Stevens, I feel like Metuchen has struggled to put consistent points up on the board. Chris DeVizio really wants to see a picture of himself. How about this? Yeah, how about that? Sorry to the Blums for exposing you, but that picture of Chris is pretty priceless. Under 7 minutes to go. Metuchen trails by 9. With the ball in their hand, though, they have a chance to cut this one to even less of a lead. But now here comes Stevens. Fast break. Up goes the chance for Peters, and the points go through.
You could see some of the JP Stevens students starting to battle back here on Metuchen's student section, but Metuchen's still carrying the base of these fans here.
Hey, at least they're wearing green. Sorry. I'm not even going to explain that one, man.
Wait, guys, can you highlight the fact that Dan and Shay like this post?
Really?
Dan and Shay like this post.
Cone will inbound. He's got a few options for himself, or really none at all. As Kuhn will throw it back to Santos on their own side of defensive half. He'll take it across the logo. Three-pointer from Cone. Does he bring him back into this game a little bit more? The ball last touched off Hicks. Or did it? The man in the striped shirt may or may not have made the right call just now. I'm not sure he made the right call there, but hey, not going to be the one that says Metuchen versus refs in the Instagram comment section. So 11-point game. Metuchen still up by trailing by 11. It's still a really good game if you're just joining us. They have to try to put a lot of points together, though. With no shot clock, Stevens could really control the pace of this game, or can they? Nice steal by Malamug. He takes it across the line now. Pass to Cone. He missed his last 3-point, but he's been pretty golden shooting the ball here in the fourth quarter, and he might have traveled. No, it was a foul. It was a foul against Malamug.
I might be the person to say Metuchen versus refs here, because this is two very unfortunate calls going JP Stevens' way.
Yeah. I'm not sure that was the right call, but he's the one on the court side, right? 6:06 to go. Pangetti. Sarkar. It's Pangetti now. He's got an open man underneath. He won't kick it. See, they've really locked down Peters since the second half started. I wonder if that's what Cardillo told his team at half. Maybe focus more so on dominating the defending their best player. Cone takes a jumper, which doesn't work. How about a second? Both don't work. 0 for 2 on that drive from Metuchen. Cone can't get the shots he wanted. Ooh, and one. What a play that was. That was Hicks, who's really been the star here. And I know that the level of play from Peters was excellent in the first half, but I've really liked what I've seen from Hicks consistently throughout the course of the game. It's been more so the first half for Peters than, consistently throughout the course of the game. But we've really seen consistent high-level play from Hicks the entire game as he makes it a 3-point play and really starts to try to bury Metuchen into this hole.
I think Metuchen should go for a timeout here. Can't even get the ball up the court, and now the lead is starting to blunder here.
In comes Galligan, out comes Kuhn. Chance for 2 shots for Metuchen. 6 fouls from, not 2 shots, there was no foul there. But 6 shots, 6 fouls on Metuchen, 4 for Stevens. 1 foul away from the bonus, and that would really mess Metuchen up. Moving inside, the ball is lost. Here comes Peters. Did I jinx him again? Here he comes. He's fouled. And he's not happy. He wanted a chance to score some points. But he'll be sent to the line for a 1-and-1. If he makes his first, he'll take a second. And he hits it, so he rewards himself a second shot. Misses the second. Cassani boards it. And Metuchen on the ball. Cone across the half. Quiet on set. 5:05 to go. It's a 15-point game. Metuchen with it. Cone, a shot from 3. That would have been nice. But a board by Cassani. And those Gov partners make it a 13-point game in favor of Stevens. Okay, so you put points on the board there. I know it's just 2, but it's a 13-point game now. Maybe you start to crawl back. If a comeback starts, it has to start now, right, Jared?
It certainly does, and with time dwindling here, you gotta make a move and get some momentum here.
They really do. And I know they could. I know they can if they really start to put some points quickly on the board here. They can get some momentum. They do have to stay out of the foul game because now they're in the bonus. So every single foul, even a reach-in, sends you to the line if you're Stevens. This has been a fun one to call. It's been a really fun one. And Jared, you're doing a great job for your first time. Really a great job for any time. Seriously, it's been fun. Peters. Sarkar. Peters open for 3. He could shoot the ball. We talked about that earlier, but they're not really defending his shot, and in comes a source of 2. Jump shot falls. It's a 15-point game. In comes Cone. Cone trades off the points. Nice chance. We have Chris DeVizio on the mic for the first time in Media Club history, and he has something to say to... Oh, he just left the room. He just left the room. He's embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed, too. Here comes Santos. Finger roll. Did he have the points? He got a foul. He'll take 2 shots. A 13-point game. 2 shots for Santos. I've just been awarded Best Junior Ever award. And nothing is confidential in the media room.
And we're really eyeing the graduation here of Chris DeVizio when he really gets to leave this media room. I mean, it really will be a true step for this club.
That's a joke. He's a legend. He's a legend here, but he's also very, very on caffeine. I'll say that.
Chris!
Ooh, it toilet bowls its way in. Santos needed that. He got it. 4:06 to go. It's 46-35 in favor of J.P. Stevens. Maybe a three-point chance. They won't take it. They just want consistent points. Chance up. No, it's off the bottom of the board. Here comes Santos. Santos loses it quickly right around the logo, and it's now Stevens' ball across the logo. Stevens, here they come. Ball out of bounds. It was last touched off Hicks. Last touched off Cardillo, and Hicks will inbound from there.
And there's another timeout here by Coach Cardillo. We'll be back in a sec.
You just missed the Whopper Whopper song played by Burger King, or played by the Metuchen High School. Foul on Metuchen again. That's their 8th foul as a team, which will send 1-in-1 chance to the line for Stevens. One and one, first chance, good. Oh, he pushed Cardillo. Seemed unnecessary, but who knows what's going on down there. Made the shot and pushed Cardillo. He's had a great game for Peters. I know he had a better first half than second half, but he's kind of came onto the scene a little more here in the second half and really starting to put Metuchen to sleep. Although they're never really dead right now. Which is the fascinating part about this team. Here's Galligan, a spin move, nice one, but didn't really break too much space for himself. He misses. He's been a little bit off. He's had better games. He's been probably one of the best players on the team, but today, more of a defensive piece, a very good defensive piece. He always has been, but his shot has been a little bit off, and that's why he's taken a little bit less, I think. Here's a three from the corner nearest to us. That might have ended the Bulldogs game if that was gone through, but he missed. Still 13-point deficit. Galligan from deep range. Did I jinx it? Not quite. He almost had it. That would have been crazy. It would have cut it to 10. Now they're back on the defensive side of the ball with 2:55. Swings the ball, bounce pass to number 1 Sarkar. Been their best defensive piece of the day. In comes a surging man, Hicks off the glass. What has Hicks done for this team that Peters even hasn't?
Hicks has really shown up this game more than Hicks has. And personally, he's shown up on the glass. He's shown up in the paint, and he's really as Marcus Malama gets fouled here, he's really contributed to the glass on both ends, which has helped them keep the possession here. And
I think the consistency is something he has that Peters didn't have this game, and Peters' play, his level of play might have been higher than everybody else even on the court when he was on, but he wasn't always on, so it's been enough to put Metuchen at least to a silence right now with a 15-point lead in favor of Stevens. This one should stay with Metuchen. It does. Take a look at that GMC standings right now. It is all in favor right now. South River, we'll turn it on in a second, but the game is playing our tabs all switched up. There's Santos for 3. That would have been nice, but he couldn't drain it. Now they are really in the back seat. 2 minutes. Player hearts out in front of the fans here. Stole by Santos. Picked up by Cardillo. Cardillo runs one to Galligan. This is the starting lineup out there. Galligan. Oh, okay, no. Cassani's out there instead of Malamug. But other than that, almost all starters. Cassani's played really well and kind of earned his spot here. Deep 2. This isn't a 3. It doesn't fall. Santos off the glass. That would have counted if it... Yeah, it didn't go in. And there was a foul, but it was after the fact. So it's a foul against Stevens. Oh, it's a foul against Metuchen. They're saying it's Santos. I don't know. Interesting. Sorry, that was a jump ball going in favor of Stevens. Ref's motion a little late. Peters on it. Some of the fans leaving from this one. It's 3-point chance. It's good. And Pangetti might have just ended the Bulldogs' night. What a shot by Pangetti. And now Metuchen probably done for in this one, as Cardillo can't score that either. Coming in, a shot. Oh, Hicks got it. Nice job there by Hicks. Puts it in. 20-point game. It's the largest deficit of the night with a minute to go.
And another
57.
basket just
This
to
is
increase this lead here for
Points
JP
explosion
Stevens.
right now. They're putting points up and quickly. And the ball goes out. That's really the best minute we've seen from a team in a while. Well, at least if you're a student in the student section, you're going to get some free t-shirts. So there's a plus. You come out here, maybe not with a win, but with some free t-shirts. Who doesn't like free t-shirts, by the way? Chris DeVizio, I've always said, could be one of the guys that throws the t-shirts out at sporting events. He just looks like that kind of guy. Is it always there he is. Can we zoom in on him? Is that possible? And there they are. I knew it. Well, not exactly the most festive game because they lost, but still happy to be here in honor of spreading awareness for mental health. And wow, some of these throws are sick. That one just went off like 5 different people's heads. There's one on the court, but it got scooped up. Now Kuhn will probably live the rest of this one up with 30 seconds to go. Or maybe they'll play for some more. Santos puts it up, and he rolls out. He'll be sent to the line for 2. 22.2 seconds to go. Still, I bet you're watching the free t-shirts right now. I am too. Honig just chucked. Oh, and it goes almost to the other free throw line. I don't know why Honig got involved. Into the other student section. Wow, I can't even tell a difference right now because they're all wearing green, or at least wearing a little bit of green. You got it. They'll shoot a second. Just make sure no one gets one on the top net. That's a gym class special when the ball gets stuck up there and everyone starts throwing their shoe to try to knock it down. I have some funny stories about that. There's Santos. He hits both. It's still a 20-point game with 22 seconds to go, and there's a timeout. To take a little stoppage, we'll step aside from here. It's the Bulldog Report. Ike Bush and Jared Popek, 57-37. You're watching the Bulldog Report. Time to get started here. Final 20 seconds. See if Metuchen tries to pose a comeback, but they're 10 possessions down. Pushing by Santos before the play. This would be pretty awesome if they came back, right? 20 seconds, 20 points.
Yeah, it probably would be pretty awesome.
That would be pretty sick. A miracle.
Yeah.
They need something like that right now, but really, I'm not mad about this loss, and I'm just going to go ahead and assume this one's over, obviously, but, you know, as much as it's a loss, and I know I even made a positive out of the loss of South River, which was kind of a very one-sided one, but I'm going to make a positive out of this one. Metuchen played a great game, and that's not just saying that. South River played a great game against Metuchen last game, and Metuchen played okay, but this game, it's different. Stevens has been very good, and maybe they're not as good as South River, but Metuchen played a great game. The momentum got to them in the third quarter and the fourth. They were really starting to fight back into this one, and I know they might have been a little outmatched, but their performance today was very encouraging. And looking ahead for the rest of the season, Metuchen should be more than excited to see their competition. Some shots from the day. Brought to you by Crass Photography. Final 5 seconds of this one. Maybe Kuhn wants to pat the stats a little, but he missed, so no good there. And that's it. 59-37's the final. Stevens wins on the road, a game they had to get. Metuchen couldn't pull through. But, Jared, what did you see today that you want to see from Metuchen looking forward?
I saw a great fight, especially at the start of the second half. We saw the emergence of Max Cohn on the offensive floor, and today was a really distribution of points among the bench, among the starters, and this should be a positive going forward.
Well, we'll see if it is. We'll see if they can put this one in their back pocket and move forward. For now, Ike Bush and Jared Popek, we're signing off of the Bulldog Report. We'll see you next time here on the Bulldog Report.